Greeting and salutations, folks. It's me again, Elgin Subway Surfer Bolling, your creative caricature marketing consultant. Hey, no instruction today, but I'm feeling a little nostalgic, and I did promise you way back when I made the video 4 Steps to Defeating the Bully, which can be found on this channel. Incidentally, this is the story behind that story. It's 1974. I'm in high school. It's the 9th grade, and wait a minute, why am I telling you the story now? Just enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you at the end. It was the 3rd of September. Wow, 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 wow. That day I'll always remember. Yes, I will. For that was the day I started high school. That's right. September the 3rd, 1974. I was 14 years old, and I finally had broken out of the bounds of childhood primary education, and I was going to be a high school student in the 9th grade. It was very exciting. It was the first time that I had traveled so far by myself on the subway train. It took me at least an hour to get to this neighborhood, and I realized that I would be meeting new and exciting people, totally unlike any of the people that I knew in my neighborhood. They would look different, they would dress different, they would talk different, they would act different, but I was excited to learn everything that I could. I didn't know what would happen, but my options were open, wide open. I recall that day that I was late going to one of my classes. I mean, after all, I was new to the school, and things were kind of confusing and unfamiliar that first day. And so there I was in the hallway trying to get to my next class. I was in a hurry. And then all of a sudden, that's when I met Vinny. Watch your back, is what he said to me. Watch your back. And then he walked away. I just said to myself, I guess this is what they do to freshmen, how upperclassmen, they do their hazing. It's probably nothing. Well, a couple of days later, nothing happened again. I was over by my locker, and then all of a sudden, I heard the voice of Vinny again. Watch your back. Watch your back. I began visibly shaking. I don't know how I got on this kid's radar, but I was on it. And then he began popping up all over the place, unexpectedly, always with the same threat. Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back. Watch your back. I was terrified. I inquired from my classmates who was this kid, and they described him as Vinny Bada Bing Bada Boom. The Bada Bing was him, the sound that his fist made when it hit your face and your body, and the Bada Boom was the sound your body made as it hit the floor. This guy, he's I don't know how tall he was. He seemed like he was 10 foot tall. I know that I couldn't see his eyes, and that he had razor stubble, just like Fred Flintstone. That's what I remember. He made my first few days of school a living hell. I literally couldn't concentrate. as I walked the hallways. I never knew when he was going to show up. And he always showed up in the most unexpected places. I knew that I was on this kid's radar, and it was only a matter of time that he would pound me into the dust. But when? When was this going to happen? When? I was a good kid in school. The teachers liked me. And when a teacher likes you, when a teacher trusts you, they often send you on errands, giving messages back and forth to the dean, back and forth to the principal's office, things like that. And I found myself in the hallway one day. And as I slowly turned the corridor, I noticed to my horror, there was Vinny. There he was, talking to a girl. I thought to myself, what kind of self-respecting girl would ever talk to a monster like that? But that's not what this story is all about. I cringed in fear. I felt fear just gripping my body. I started to sweat. I slowly began to tremble, and I began to look for an escape route so that I didn't have to walk down that corridor. But then, all of a sudden, resolve and self-respect grabbed me. I thought of all the times that I had been humiliated by Vinny. I thought of all of the times that I had been frightened by Vinny. And I knew that I had to stay in this school a couple of more years, and I was determined not to be bullied by Vinny anymore. So I devised a plan. An ingenious plan, a devious plan. Vinny was off guard. He was preoccupied with talking to the girl. All I had to do was run down the hallway as quickly as I could, jump up in the air, since he was taller than me, and hit him in his big dumb face before he knew what was going to happen. Yeah, that's it. Run down the hallway, jump up in the air, hit Vinny in his big dumb face. That's what I'm gonna do. Ahem, ahem, ahem. We, the makers and creators of this video, that would be me, Elgin Subway Surfer Bolling, your creative caricature marketing consultant, does not condone, has never condoned, and will never condone the use of excessive or gratuitous violence in schools. But you do have the right to defend yourself. If at all possible, avoid, tell an adult, walk away. Having said that, we bring you back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy. It was do or die, folks. Yeah! I let out a resounding kia that shook the corridors of the school itself. It was do or die, folks. I ran as fast as I could, keeping my eye locked on the target, determined to get in just one devastating hit. I didn't know what was going to happen next, but I was committed. There was no turning back. That must have been one interesting conversation that Vinny was having with that girl, which suited me fine because I ran towards him as quickly as I can. He didn't hear a thing. Don't look, don't look, don't look! Bam! It couldn't have been more perfect. My flying reverse punch slammed into Vinny's bada bing, bada boom face. Only this time, I was the one doing the bada boom on Vinny. Ah! Oh, Vinny, he hit you right in the face, screamed his girlfriend as Vinny writhed in pain, holding his face. I let out another kia, as I landed on the floor. But then slowly, reality began to set in. The reality was that Vinny Bada Bing Bada Boom was the biggest bully in the school. The reality was that Vinny Bada Bing Bada Boom was 10 times my size, 10 times my strength. The reality was Vinny Bada Bing Bada Boom was soon going to recover from that punch. And another reality was that Vinny Bada Bing Bada Boom was gonna be very mad. So I did what any self-respecting person would do with common sense at that time. I ran 100 miles per hour in the other direction. As I look back, and Vinny got smaller and smaller in the distance that I was creating, I wondered to myself, when would Vinny retaliate? And what would the end be? But in a way, I felt so proud of myself standing up to this monster. Whatever happened next, he would at least carry with him the memory and, quite possibly, the scar of having encountered me, the one guy who stood up to him. But a funny thing happened. Vinny never retaliated. In fact, in the days and the months that followed, I never saw Vinny again. And I had a theory about why that happened. 3 theories. Number 1, he probably quit school out of shame. Number 2, he probably was so scared of me doing that again that I put the fear of God in him, and he couldn't stand the thought of another encounter with me. And yeah, I like that version. But what's probably closer to the truth is the third alternative. Vinny had a witness. It was his girlfriend. And I never met a girl yet who could keep a juicy secret to herself. What she probably did was she probably went all around the school and blabbed. He hit him right in the face. I saw it. He hit Vinny right in the face, and Vinny didn't do nothing. That's probably closer to the truth. He had to leave the school. He had been the biggest bully there, but he had to leave and be a bully somewhere else because his reputation had been tainted. So it didn't matter what he did to me in return, which was all right with me because I didn't want to get a beating anyway. Funny thing, life is, a couple of years later as an adult, I ran unexpectedly into a classmate of ours. We talked about old times, old anxiety, and all of that stuff. And then I asked him, I said, hey, whatever happened to that kid named Vinny? And he said, oh, Vinny, that guy, he got into an argument with someone and the guy just ended him. I said, oh, now I'm never happy when somebody dies unexpectedly and violently. But I gotta say, in Vinny's case, I wasn't really surprised. Well, folks, that's it. Another chapter out of the life of Subway Surfer, your creative caricature marketing consultant. I'd be interested, really, in knowing what you thought about this episode. So smash that subscribe button. Please, I'm begging you, please. I ain't too proud to beg. And also, feel free to comment. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that one, even if you have your own stories on bullying. Take care and stay out of trouble. Are we still on? Oh, okay.